Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video series that I'm entitling Alpha Delta. It's basically going to be a video series where I have conversations with people that are operating at a higher level in the hope that these conversations inspire and motivate people to be the best versions of themselves. So today I'm joined by a really good friend of mine, Arinze, and I'm going to just take this opportunity to just like allow you to introduce yourself, talk about, who you are, what you do, where you go to school, and yeah, etc.
Um, Hi everyone. My name is Arinze. I am Nigerian. I am currently CEO and publisher of Kenga, which is a media company that focuses on Gen Z culture and insights in Africa. Your other question was where I went to school.
Yeah.
Okay, so school. I went to the African University for my undergrad, where I majored in business. And then after that, I just completed my master's and degree in global affairs at Tsinghua, where I was a Schwarzman. I keep messing up the pronunciation of this fucking scholarship.
It's a mouthful, though.
Schwarzman,
Yeah, Schwartzman.
where I was a Schwarzman scholar.
Yeah.
They need a simpler name.
Yeah,
They need to find a
Schwartz
simpler
or
name.
something.
Goddamn.
Yeah. And then, so that's what the end of your educational journey.
Well, I mean, I'll stop there because everything else is tentative.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So like, let's take a step back. Let's talk a little bit about like your time in high school. Well, actually, let's take it a step a bit back further, right? Yeah, your childhood time as a childhood. You know, what was Arinze like? What was he into? What was his hopes and dreams? Yeah.
Um, I mean, Arinze as a child was very, I think, very opposite to who I am now. So I'd be curious to know what that version of myself would think about like me now.
Mm.
But I think that was primarily because I was locked inside a lot. Like my mom didn't let us play around with our neighbors and such because she was I mean she was justified like in her worry because it was a
Right.
very turbulent like
Mm.
city where like there was very
This is Nigeria, right?
yeah, but then not just Nigeria. Context is Nigeria, and then there's Aba. So I grew up in Aba. So Aba is this like town where it was, at that time I don't know if that's still the case now actually, but at the time like it was known for like it's like very rampant kidnapping and such.
Right.
And then naturally, like during like election seasons, like when they elect like a governor and so on, it gets so much worse. So my mom was just like overly like protective and like just worried about all of that. So we didn't get to like play to the point that like I had to like sneak out like sometimes like sneak out of like her window, I'd crawl
Right.
out. So this is like her bedroom window that has like, these bars.
Yeah.
Like she would lock us in, and like then thankfully I was like so skinny, I would like be able to like fit myself through like the bar, like in a window, like sneak outside to play with my neighbors.
So
That's
you're
how
a little rebellious.
That's
kid,
how.
yeah.
So I guess like the rebellion is like the one thing that has stayed.
Mm.
But yeah, I think that's how it was. Like I was very kept indoors, so naturally like I found solace in like books. So books became like my friends. That was where I got to experience the world through like other people's
Right.
stories. I think my favorite like books were like the Animorphs series, like anything written by like Enid Blyton. Um, yeah, I think those are my favorite. And then occasionally I'll read my mom's like that Daniel Steele books.
I feel like every
And then,
mom
yeah.
read Daniel Steele at some point.
I know.
Mine too as well.
That's
like,
and,
she
like-
had like bookshelves full.
I know.
Yeah.
That there's like Nora Roberts.
Yeah.
And then there's naturally there's Cosmopolitan
Mm.
magazine.
Interesting. Cool. So walk us through like from Arinze to a kid to where you're now. Like, what has that journey been like?
Hey, that's quite a leap, you know. That's quite.
Yeah, you give us a synopsis. I mean, depending on how much time we have, but you know.
No, because like I mean, the journey. The journey has been very very interesting. Interesting in the sense that there have been naturally like things that have been shocking, things that have been terrifying, ups, downs, and like everything in between. Right. Within that time, like my parents separated. I went from like being an A-star student to being near the bottom of my class. Then went to being an average student for like a sustained period. Then went back to being an A-star student. Then continued that to like uni. Did a bunch of like internships because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do like post like school. So I literally worked everywhere. Like by the time I graduated from like undergrad, I'd done entertainment, education, finance, pharmaceuticals, and tech. Right. But then it's like I just didn't know where I wanted to be. So then I think when people look at like all the things I've done, it's like, oh, you've done so many things. That's so impressive. But then for me, it's like, oh, I did so many things because I was so fucking confused. I didn't know what the hell I wanted. And even now, like to some extent, like I think I'm still figuring it out. Which is why I get so confused when people ask me to like mentor them. Like now, I'm like, I need a mentorship myself. Like, I need that guidance you're looking for. Believe me, like I need it more than you.
But, for sure. But I mean, don't you think that to some degree, based on like the things you've done, there is a way that you can mentor some people just based off of that?
Oh yeah. Oh no, this is not me saying that I don't mentor people. Like I do, but it's just. When people ask me like Arinze, can you be my mentor? It's the same way. Like I find it just as strange as if someone would come and ask me, oh hey, like Arinze, can I be your friend? I don't know how to respond to that because it's not a button I can switch on. Like oh yes, and then we're friends. But like there's a switch and then okay cool like we're mentors and like mentees. Actually, I think like the mentor-mentee relationships that I have are the ones that just happened like
naturally.
Same, like they just happened.
It's not like something where you're like
there was never a conversation.
You went to ask or something.
Exactly.
Just and I've also found that it's a lot of them rooted on like our friendship. Right. Exactly. This is someone that you can get along with them. They can advise you, but you can also easily just like go out with them, have a drink, and it's like have more casual interactions with them. Rather than it just being this mentor to mentee relationship.
Because then if it's just that like if all we talk about is like your career and like where you're trying to get to and like my career and where I'm trying to get to, then it at some point just feels like work. It feels like I'm having a meeting like at work. So whether with like a superior or like a subordinate, it just feels very transactional and like that's not. It's not. That's beneficial. That's not my aesthetic.
I feel that. I could totally get that completely. Cool. So we talked a bit about like your past. I talked a little about present in a sense. Now let's talk a little about future. Right. Where's Arinze heading to? Where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself?
Going to. You can time box it if you want to time box it, or you can just give me like a general.
I mean, this is first of all a very anxiety-inducing question. Just after I disclosed that I don't know what the hell I want to do, but anyway, I think my interests are tilted towards like technology and media. So I know that like whatever I do in the future would be one of both of these things. Because like I know that I care about technology, not the tech itself, but I think the power of like tech, like all the things that you can do with tech, like the impact you can scale through technology. And then I think for media, it's like it's one of the quickest and like not easiest, but quickest way to change the world, because then you get to change like perspectives and like mindsets like at scale, like through content, right? And especially today, where a lot of the content that is coming out is like tilted towards like comedy, and comedy is one of the biggest genres for subversion, right? Because you take everything as a laugh, but then they're actually making a very serious point.
That's very true,
right? So with so with TikTok, for example, like I think the generation that's going to come after this current TikTok generation are going to be a very interesting set of people, because then like they're now exposed to all these things that I am Gen Z, but like I wasn't exposed to these things. Well, I guess I'm like the older brackets of Gen Z. I'm like those people who are like almost like on the cusp.
Late laggards.
Exactly. So even as I grew up, like with all these things, like I didn't have that, right? So like, I think it would just be interesting to see. But yeah, so like so essentially, like, what I would do would be technology or media or both. So that's why like business school is like important for me, because like that's like the space that like I know that I'm going to like properly crystallize like what exactly is it that I want to do. Because my plan for business school is to use that time to create like a business plan for like what I want to, or like the business that I want to create.
Right.
Post school, I might not like create it immediately after I graduate, but like it's something that I want to begin like while in business school.
Yeah, and I think like the place where you're going to is actually very beneficial for that.
Yeah,
like it's a tech hub.
Exactly why I picked it.
Yeah, it's like I guess you guys don't know, like Arinze is heading to Stanford. Business school.
Yeah, I didn't mention
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So so definitely where you're going to is like it's very good for in terms of like your mission and what you're trying to work towards building. It's very, very influential for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool.
Thankfully, like the stars have like aligned.
Yeah.
On that small bit.
Yeah. Awesome. That's amazing, man. Amazing. It really is. All right. So now let's like have a bit more personal conversation.
Bring it on.
So my first question to you is, how do you navigate life as a queer man?
Oh my God, this feels like a more liberal version of like the why are you gay?
Are you serious? Is that what it feels like to you? Oh, maybe I need to change my. Oh my God. I'm really not trying to create that.
I think it has so me navigating life as a queer man has changed with time. Right, there was the time of like me navigating life as a queer man who didn't accept that he was a queer man. There's a time of me navigating life as a queer man who accepted that he was a queer man but wasn't ready to let other people know.
Right.
Then there's now where I'm at of like, navigating life as a queer man who doesn't give three fucks, like who knows that he's queer. And I think the experiences that I had at each stage were very formative. Not all pleasant, but I think there were things that I needed to go through. Some very dark. We wouldn't get into that. Some very dark, but like I think all in all, like it's it has been amazing. I think the best part for me is like the coming out part, because I know for like most queer people that's the
biggest challenge.
Exactly. Like that's the one that makes a lot of people just anxious.
Right.
And naturally, like I was anxious as well, but I think I got to the point where I just like was like, this is my life.
Yeah. You already got one.
Exactly. Like everybody else, like they've lived theirs, and like I just refuse to just be on my deathbed at like 60 or hell 30 and be like,
what if?
Damn, like exactly.
What if? Yeah.
What if? So I was like, no. I want to live life to the full, to the fullest. So even if I die young, I can be content with like the life that I've led. So then I'm grateful for like the family and friends that I have, because like since I came out I haven't lost a single friend or family.
It's a beautiful thing.
I remember there's nobody I've spoken to that like, oh, actually I've never had that, oh hey I'm gay. It always just comes up like is it like just very naturally.
Right.
But then like there's never been like someone I cared about that like knew about that and then doesn't speak to me again because of that, or the attitude changed like because of that.
Right.
Not even my mom. Wow. So I think that has been the best part, like just being able to be myself. Right, for sure. And move from talking about media and tech to talking about boys. Yeah,
very naturally, right?
Exactly.
With wherever like is in your life.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Interesting. Then my next question is that, so what does being a man mean to you?
I think being a man has a lot to do with responsibility, which is where like I think me and most men tend to fight. But like I think like the main thing about being a man has to do with like responsibility, because even if you look at like the biology of men, like that's as basic as it gets. Like the whole thing about like men being, well, like the average man like being like physically stronger and like bigger and like than like the woman, it's easy to interpret that as the man is superior to the woman, but that's not what it's about. The Marvel, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's very true.
Right? Exactly.
They all told us from the beginning.
The whole point of being physically stronger and all and all those things, it comes with a responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a power that should be abused in any shape or form.
Absolutely.
And like responsibility also transcends like responsibility over others. It's also like responsibility over self. I think that's like the central thing for me, like when I think about what it means to be a man and like what it means to be masculine.
Right.
It's to be responsible.
Absolutely. No, I definitely agree with you that I'd even go as far to say it's even like the duty of the man to be responsible, not just for themselves, but even just for their loved ones as well, and the people that they care about. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. You have any questions for me?
Oh my god, that feels like an interview. No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, at least not right now.
Not right now, yeah. Offline probably or something. We can have a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean this is pretty much the end of the conversation.
Oh, fantastic.
We're reaching the closing remarks. So do you where can people find you? Anything you want to shout out?
Well, first of all, follow Kenga.
Yeah.
At Kenga.
Yeah.
I am not important.
I'll put all the links and everything under this video in the description. So yeah. Follow
Kenga. I'm definitely unbiased in this opinion, but I think we're doing something very cool.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw, this is Kenga.
Oh, this was very strategic. This is an unpaid ad. This is actually
unpaid. So yeah, make sure you grab a copy. They do physical and also like digital copies.
Digital, yes. So essentially, just follow us and just
be sure to pick
Kenga Media. Then I am here, Arinze. I'm here, Arinze, everywhere actually.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm here, Arinze, everywhere. Okay, no,
your email too.
Apart from LinkedIn, yeah. I think it's LinkedIn where I think it's
first name, last name.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been fun.
Yeah, same. I'm glad. I'm glad we can do this for sure. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell us what you think about this episode. This is all in the spirit of just promoting self-improvement for everyone. As usual, like I do offer self-improvement coaching services, which will all be linked below in this video. So for us, this is goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah, man. Thanks, my guy. That was awesome.
Fantastic.
You seem very nervous though.
You seem more nervous to me.